Okay. Can anybody hear me okay? Mic check, mic check. Yeah. Sorry for the delay. Had a little hiccup with my mic that I had to fix real quick. Okay, so we got AMR so far. What's up, AMR? As you see by the title, we have light skinned men's evident rise in sports. And I know this has been something I've been talking about. I'm doing good, man. Finally got a day off from work, so I've been just chilling at home. Finally, feels like I haven't done that in practically 2 weeks. Looking forward to this little Super Bowl, and as you guys could tell by the thumbnail, it's Man Cave Monday. Yes, sir. We're about to talk about some sports tonight. Yeah, this is Bay Sports with your host Brown and Bay. as we, as of this Sunday, we have a very historic, monumental thing to discuss today, as we have the first ever quote unquote black quarterback Super Bowl. And if there's one thing that anyone besides myself has noticed, both of them are MLS. Yes, the first ever black quarterback bowl will be featuring two MLS men, Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes. So this will be a very historic week, and a week where everyone who was part of this MLS space on YouTube, we can celebrate. So bring the dip, bring the chips, bring the whiskey, not too much whiskey, bring the vodka, but let's not get crazy tonight. But we're about to celebrate, and we're about to be talking a lot of smack because a lot of people have been really talking a lot of smack about MLS, man, and it's just been nonstop. It's like each and every year is just the same thing, same jokes, same stereotypes. And yet here we are right here, the first black quarterback bowl, and it features two MLS men. How ironic. So it's like when these people are talking, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. And we just got finished with our NBA finals that was also heavily MLS with the Warriors and the Celtics with Jason Tatum and Stephon Curry. So once again, we just had a MLS NBA Finals, and we followed that up with an MLS Super Bowl. So where is all this supposed oh MLS men are weaker, we're more emotional and all that, but yet we keep dominating sports every week, every year. And as of right now, It, I see you change your name, DJ. You're rebranding yourself, I see. I gotta give you at least you're pretty consistent. You finally changed it up from Obama and Stephen Curry, I see. Kay Cunningham does not look like Jason Tatum. Okay. But that's besides the point though. Regardless of what walk of life you have, if this space is taught and if my videos have taught anybody anything, it doesn't matter. Mixed, light skin, MGM, whatever. We all suffer from this image problem that we've had since a lot of us were even born. Oh, discreet geek. What's up? I haven't seen you in a while. You should have heard idiots on Twitter saying things like this. They better get used to it. I'm skipping in and taking over sports industry. No doubt about it. Absolutely. I mean, all people got to do is just look at the drafts. In the NBA, we just had a MLS man, Paulo Banchero, that just went number one. We had Ben Simmons. We had Cade Cunningham. We got Jordan Poole. Like, these people are just going to be throwing their fists up in the air because this is the future. And honestly, the future is now. And it's like people try to disguise it as like, I even saw like a couple of Twitter comments, people talking about so many beige dudes getting drafted in the NFL, NBA, but it's you got it's your fault. Like, didn't nobody ask you guys to, I don't know, bang whatever white or light, bright, and darn near you know what woman you could find, and then get mad when these MLS men have your athletic ability? It's your fault. So I'm not trying to hear it. I don't want to hear about, oh, the NBA is starting to get more beige. It's your fault it's more beige. Like, people try to act all dumbfounded like this wasn't bound to happen sooner or later. Like, if you look at all these like black male like players from the early '80s on down, and look who they had babies by, it's obvious they chose where they wanted their future to be. And now that we're in the generation where a lot of these MLS men are growing up and taking over the NBA, now people are trying to act stupid. Like, it, oh, I don't know why the NBA is starting to become so beige now. Huh, I wonder why. Could it be the very fact that a lot of these athletes are most of the time with white women and have babies by these white women? Like, it's not rocket science, people. And okay, even looking at that, we can even look at a lot of the MLS like fully black, like Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts, who also will be representing MLS men this weekend for the Eagles. Then we got Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, who will be the next few that we can add to that list, who are projected to go in the top five for picks. Like, you guys have made your bed, now you have to lie in. This is the future, whether everybody doesn't like it or not. And I, for one, am not about to be the one that's going to be patting people on the back saying it's okay. No, I'm about to rub it in your face because you guys have been talking smack about us for years, generations on generations. I enjoy it. I think it's funny. You know how people always like to say it's jokes? I think it's funny how MLS men are taking over in sports. I think it's hilarious because it just goes to show you that what all these people are saying is just nothing more than projection. It always has been. And it always will be projection. What's up, AMR?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Man, you ready to you ready to troll tonight, man?
Hey, that's why I came. So, but yeah, I was listening to what you were saying, saying earlier in the chat, and I'm like, you know what? To me, this is where it's got to begin. This is where it's beginning, or this is the start of it, to where we finally get, where we finally, get show the whole world exactly what we're all about, and not what people say or hear, is what we do. And there was a point in time where that they really didn't want this to happen
Absolutely, they didn't.
because they were afraid that we would be the face. Again, just not only the face of the NBA or the NFL. I mean, hell, we're still the face of music, hip hop, R&B. And I'm pretty sure you saw the meme videos that they did with Drake and the 21 Savage, you know, I'm pretty sure you saw that.
You know what? I think I do remember seeing that somewhere. But they've been clowning Drake for so long. It just gets to a
Oh
point.
yeah,
I've been
and they
watching.
also did one of J. Cole as well.
Yeah, I've seen it. I think at this point, if you're an MLS man and you're a celebrity that's pretty much starting to really get up there, that's when you really start to see people start showing their jealousy and with their little indirect like jokes and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Cause I
and plus, again, but then you'll have that other conversation from the outside looking in, saying how we're again we're replacing folks. I'm like, how so?
yeah, it's like when they I just laugh when I hear that replacement stuff and it's like, okay, that may or may not be true, but it you guys chose this. Like how many like I've been talking about this for years. It's like these people act all surprised and stuff, but it's like they're the ones who's creating these MLS people. And they're most of the times the ones that are shaking their fists when we create ourselves. So it's like I'm just this whole thing is just baffling to me.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just pretty much just laughing at it because I'm like, look at what you're saying, look at what you're putting out there. I understand that this is what this is what it's going to be, whether they like it or not. MLS men this, MLS men that, but yet they now become the face of stuff that you used to, have a monopoly on.
Okay, Miss Troy saying a lot here. Light skin will take over dark black by the year 2050 and be completely outbred. What? See, I don't really agree with like stuff like I don't think it's ever gonna get to a point where black people are just gonna be outbred. But I think it's going to get to a point where the generations of black people are going to get just keep getting lighter and lighter and lighter. I don't think that
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think dark skinned black people are going to get outbred. I think there's just going to be less of dark skinned, like truly dark skinned black people. Because to be honest, you're already seeing it.
Starting ready, starting to see it more and more, pretty much almost every day.
Well, I think I can agree on that. The U.S. needs to grow big time on this mixed light skin issue. But anyways, then we got like another quarterback who I think sooner or later is probably going to figure it out, and that's Justin Fields. I think once the Bears finally figure out how to put some talent around him, who's to say we won't be talking about him in like another 2 or 3 years going to the Super Bowl?
Who is this?
He's the quarterback for the Chicago Bears, Justin Fields.
Oh, okay.
And we got
Okay, fair enough.
yeah, and I have posted in my Discord with the two best quarterbacks in this upcoming draft, Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. You can just add them to the list. They're going to be the next faces. What's up,
What's
Stacey?
up, Stay Solid?
You know what? I at this point I only go on Twitter unless I just really, really just feel like motivating myself because a lot of those comments I see on there just be like, do I really want to do this to myself today? Am I feeling petty today? Do I want to argue with these folks today?
Here's the thing about that because sooner or later, well, I won't say sooner or later, but people got to show they did. What's the word I'm looking for? They got to show their pettiness, and they're gonna be messy. They're gonna come with something to try to, again, like they say, it's like, oh, y'all are on a pedestal, but yet every now and then, when we somewhat feel good about ourselves, you want to knock us off because you think we're flexing. I'm like, well, you guys been flexing for so long, but we just stay back in the cut. But meanwhile, we can't do the same. I don't see how that makes sense.
Exactly. And that's
Oh,
why
oh, oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry about that, man.
and that's why we're flexing tonight. We got a historic Super Bowl going on this the first ever black quarterback bowl with two MLS people. You bet they're about to hear about it this week.
But here's what they also do, man. Like what they do is that, well, it's all of our, achievements. Your achievement is my. I'm like, y'all love coming. Y'all want you again. You say you want us to be away from you, but you still find a way to want to keep us.
Exactly. That's the thing that cracks. Like there, I was looking on a video earlier today, and it was not like this new like light skin face challenge, and I'm just looking like, and this person, this was like a light skin, like almost MGM looking chick herself, and she literally looked up the definition, and it literally said it's a meme that's created to stereotype MLS men. I'm like, oh, you don't say.
Well, hey, you know what? I'm also drop a little confession here. I was actually looking at one of your videos, one of the older videos that you did, and where it was about a couple of, what was it about? It was about, again, one black girl and one black dude. They was interviewing people on the streets, and they had no issues when they got chosen, but the moment that someone said MLS, man, they feelings was hurt. Or like that girl that got water tossed in her face.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I was just like, some of these people,
The
it's like,
the irony about it was that she wasn't even black. Like she was like Mexican or like
right.
Spanish something, and he was still entitled.
Hey, Rock Fresh, hey, you just hit that comment right there, just hit it on the head. A light skinned brother winning pisses all men off.
Oh, make no mistake about it. When I'm talking about this, I'm talking about everybody that's been talking about us all this time. No matter what race. Yeah, I got smoke for everybody tonight. Because today we're about to celebrate because we this just goes to show all this stuff that people have been talking all this time has not meant anything because we see the proof is in the pudding. Look who is sitting at the top of the king of the mountain.
And but you know what though, but I'm gonna be but you know what, there was a time where I may have not have been, a Warriors fan, not because I didn't like, them as individuals. It was just that, hey, again, they may have played a certain team that I was rooting for, but then the more they started winning, I'm like, okay, I can't complain about these guys no more. I can't. Because they go out there, they do their thing, win or lose.
And you know what's funny about how you brought up with the Warriors?
Right.
I noticed people they stay hating on Stephen Curry, and I remember seeing a comment from a certain crazy person saying that, oh, since the NBA is becoming more light skinned, that means it's not as popular. But yet, two of the most influential players of this generation are MLS, Curry and Mahomes. Like you weren't seeing people pulling up from half court before Curry or attempting no look passes before Mahomes. So it's like, it's like the more people talk, the more dumber they look. That's just what I'm getting from these comments.
Facts. And but you know what though, and also because there was also another video that I was looking at where people was literally hating on the fact that Steph Curry or let alone Klay Thompson, they was like, oh, it's the LS privilege that they're
Uh,
getting and versus a LeBron, but yet will uplift. I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. Like, I ain't got nothing against LeBron James personally, but they were trying to compare the two in their upbringing, and I'm like, well, here's the difference. Steph and Clay's dads played in the NBA before, so Steph already has the basketball genes in his blood because his dad played for the Hornets.
and man, also add that Kobe pretty much had the same upbringing as Curry. His dad was already playing basketball.
Right.
So it's just, it's just, I can't help but just laugh at these folks. Like they try, and the problem is, it's like you got all these little. I know people have been kind of putting this term on fire, but it to me it still stands even as long as this space has been around. But a lot of these people are just plain old light skinned saviors. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, what's wrong with being pro black? There's nothing wrong with being pro black. But when it becomes a problem is when you're literally throwing yourself under the bus just to make other people feel better. Like that, I never in my life could see myself doing that. Even in my pro black days, I didn't do that.
Because you know, again, you're aware of who you are. You know who you are. You don't believe what's being put out, let alone about yourself or people that may look like you.
Because once upon a time, there was a time when I was all in pro black spaces before I got my MLS wake up call, as you call it. I used to stay in those spaces, and even back then, I never went to the length that some of these folks go. I just look at some of these folks and just like that can't be healthy. Looking at yourself that way.
Yeah, and you know what though, but then there was a part of me, you know, again, because I've been down that road before, but then I was just like, you know, something is missing, and I had to make, you know, I had to take the steps. If I had to, you know, distance myself or eliminate myself from a certain group to align myself with these particular people, then so be it.
All I can say is I don't regret anything, even with all the issues that this space has dealt with and pretty much overcame. I don't regret anything.
Right.
I love that I've been part of this space as long as I have.
And ooh, I'm really kind of feeling petty and messy right.
Oh no.
This just came to me. Oh, they gonna have they shotguns and rocket launchers blasted.
Okay.
They get. It's funny how they may not necessarily like this particular guy, but even he was a MLS president of the United States.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Hey, it's like what? Fire! Yeah. Okay, bring it.
And you know what? There you go again. And I remember, I say like probably like the last year's presidency, people used to say, "Well, he only made it in there because he was mixed. They would never let a fully black person be president." I was like, "Oh, come
Um, but then you also had people saying that he wouldn't have also got the black vote had he not been with Michelle Obama. If he got with a white woman or got with a woman that looks like him, but yet Eric Holder got with a woman that resembles him. Same complexion, but somehow that's, I guess that was what to, I guess, represent the what? The unambiguous plight.
on." I guess so.
Yeah, you know, shoot, yeah. Like I say, hey, the truth hurts, don't it?
Then you even look at other sports like golf. Like golf was nowhere near as popular as it was until Tiger Woods got into it. And then there was, I don't know if you watch racing or anything F1, but we got another one, Lewis Hamilton.
Yep. Matter of fact, my dad has his rookie cards.
See, Lewis Hamilton is doing his thing in F1. He's practically dominating still to this day racing.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
you know, like, so what does that tell you? Is that yeah, we making a, so again, yeah, we making a come up. We've been making a come up, but we're making a come up even more.
Bubba
And
Wallace,
yeah, Bubba Wallace.
and I was going to do a video on it, but it had already been like a week. But he was the first quote unquote black. Notice that's something else that kind of ticks me off. It's like I don't know if you can kind of blame the media for this, but it's like they always like to throw that, and it kind of goes back to what I think Miss Troy said. But it's like every time it's somebody that's clearly mixed race, it's always first black, first black. It's like, ah, see, this is why we keep finding ourselves here. And then
You
it's
know,
like,
like I said before, going back to, well, remember, your success is our success. Your victory is our victory.
well, I wouldn't have a problem with that if these same people were then don't turn around and say, "Oh, you guys would be nothing without us." I'm like,
Right.
oh, really? Okay.
Or ooh, ooh. Yeah, the devious laugh. Oh, I'm really gonna be devious now. Like you remember back then, like because you watch professional wrestling, right?
Yeah, every now and then.
Yeah, so you remember back then where okay, The Rock, where they got him classified as one of the black WWE champions, but yet people had a problem with that.
Oh,
And I'm like, damn.
you smell what
Yeah,
the rock
what
is
the
cooking.
Rock is cooking. And he been laying the smackdown on their ass, not only in professional wrestling, but it's also laying the smackdown in Hollywood.
Yeah,
But
and
don't want to talk about that.
we found it one of the first like MLS superheroes finally. Okay, you guys just shut me up now. We finally got one, so I
Yeah,
won't be as harsh to a lot of these folks.
right.
And they got
But
they. I think there's another. I haven't seen the movie. I've been meaning to see the movie, but they got another character called Cyclone. She's a. I think she's definitely MLS, and I think she's probably going to be the new, probably younger actress that probably you're probably going to be seeing a lot more in the future.
yeah. Oh yeah, there's like this video game trailer that I've been looking at. I think it's sort of like a witch, yeah, a magic witch kind of game. And I think the leading character is an MLS woman.
Oh, you're talking about Forspoken.
Yeah,
Yeah, they had used a face from her name is I think Ella Belinsky, and
right.
she was she's been in a couple movies, but from what I seen, her she's she's a good actress, but she's been kind of in some questionable movie roles. And from what I heard, that game is not really doing so hot.
What?
Yeah,
I'm like, well, damn, like, shoot. Now I know I'm really gonna get some heat for this. But I'm like, yo, you still look good. I'm like, hey, you still look good to fuck and marry. Like, oh, how dare you?
hey, stay mad because I
Yes,
can't
amen.
argue with that.
Too, but yeah, these will be the same people that'll be, glossing over Brad Pitt, Matthew McConaughey, and George Clooney all day, or Brad all day.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, or Channing Tatum. Can I continue?
Yeah, go on. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, shoot. Yeah. What's George Lucas? I'm like, hell, just imagine if one of them was wanted to fuck George from Seinfeld. They give them a pass. I'm like, all right.
But yeah, that as far as like video game characters, I don't really. I guess you could count Miles Morales. I guess is one. But
Right, yeah. Miles Morales, yeah.
I've been
Miles
kind
Morales.
I'm kind of paying because they said they're supposed to finally be making a movie about him, and I've been keeping my eyes kind of peeled towards that. So like, okay, let's see, is Hollywood about to do the right thing or the, I guess, culturally acceptable thing, which usually doesn't work out too well for us. I really,
You know what they almost well, you know what how they are. They always like to pretty much do the impossible or try to do the impossible.
like, if they can't get any other characters right, just get this character right, please. Like, okay, we got The Rock, but it wouldn't hurt to have another one.
Oh yeah. Hell, as a matter of fact, there was a I don't know if you saw what was it, Top Gun Maverick.
Oh no, well, I've heard that was a good movie.
Yeah, they had a dude that was also, you know, like one of the actors in on the team, and he too was an MLS man.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I've been lacking in my movie game. I gotta watch a few couple extra movies.
And again, you know what? I was even on my Jim Kelly mode last night. Jim Kelly from End of the Dragon.
Oh yeah,
Bullshit, Mr. Handman.
but
So,
you know what? I always wondered because my dad was really into movies like that. But I always wondered, looking back on it, like he never really. I think he had said that his mom was black and his dad was white. And I was looking at him like, how did he not get more roles after that?
well, you know what? That's pretty much a good question, especially when racism was really alive and well back in those days.
I mean, I was looking, where's his LS privilege card? Like you would, especially since that was an '80s movie, and you know how folks love to cry and complain about the '80s was when you guys were in, and y'all got all the women's, and you guys were the it factor. Like, okay,
And you know what? And they're talking about a decade, right? A decade where in the 80s, it was pretty much sort of bizarre, but at the same time, kind of. Even though it was some good things came out in the 80s, yeah, don't get me wrong, but that was that bizarre year or bizarre decade in the 80s because a lot of things was not necessarily deemed as questionable as it is now.
right.
Like, I mean, hell, even Prince, God rest his soul. Um, they were so quick to categorize him, and it's like, let him hang out with your girlfriend for a couple hours, and then you come back and talk to me.
And we all know how that would turn out.
Oh yeah. Or hell, even though some people may put him in the honorary light skin category, Michael Jackson, but I'm like, hell, let him hang out with your girl for an hour, then come back and talk to me.
He's gonna be moonwalking to the bedroom.
Yeah. And we got Sinbad, Ice-T, Heavy D. Kid and Play. Well, Kid from Kid and Play. Will Smith, Al B. Sure, and Christopher Williams. The DeBarge family.
Yeah, I remember I was talking to one dude one time. He said I couldn't stand them light skinned MFs.
Or I never liked you anyway, pretty motherfucker. After he just got done stabbing him in the hand in New Jack City.
You know, I looked on, I never even saw like the Ice-T scene. Like, I don't even think they got that scene on YouTube.
What?
I remember I had looked it up one day, and the only one I could find was one that looked like somebody had recorded on the toaster.
Oh no, man! You gonna have to watch like the real movie till the end. He got his revenge on Wesley almost at the end.
I never hear people talking about that scene though.
No,
It's like
no.
all I hear on these spaces is when he got stabbed in the hand. That was the end. I was like, okay, did you guys forget about the other scene that happened at the end of the movie?
Yeah, they don't talk about that though. Hell, not even the video that you did where Charlemagne the God was talking about that. I'm like, Charlemagne, you know damn well that is not the end all be all of that movie. You know it's not. You're not going to talk about what happened afterwards.
I've never heard anyone even bring. I wouldn't even know if some people in this space wouldn't have told me. But
Well,
hey,
people have selective memory, selective thought processes.
exactly.
Yeah, that's what you call heavy nitpicking.
But anyways, there was another quarterback that was one quarterback that I will say could have had the potential to be more than what he was, but kind of let his own. I don't even know what to say, but this is kind of treading on thin water here. But Colin Kaepernick,
Yeah, yeah.
because I remember when he first came on the scene, he was dynamite. He was unstoppable. He was basically. Have you ever watched Lamar Jackson before?
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen him play a couple times.
he was basically Lamar Jackson before Lamar Jackson. And I don't know what happened. He just stopped working on his game. And eventually, it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
And we pretty much all know what happened next.
But then, yeah, it's like again, when you're again when you're playing for an organization where they normally tend to be biased and you don't have necessarily that protection like that. Of course, you tend to be necessarily outskirted.
Facts.
Whether you're doing it for for the benefit of your people or other people of color, they're not going to see it that way. Oh, and hell, you know what? And also, I was also going to bring up Dak Prescott. Not like Dak Prescott. He ain't really done nothing to me other than the fact that you are part. Yeah, you do play for the Cowboys, and it's not necessarily the Cowboys team that I hate. It's them damn fans. It's them damn fans that get on my nerves.
Oh man, I used to live in Texas. Those fans, and if there's one team I would say they hate more than anybody, it is the Packers. If you go up there and Packers gear, you might as well Bring yourself a machete, some brass knuckles, and probably a bulletproof vest to go along with it.
Damn, it's like, oh, you know what? Also, the Packers also got a quarterback, Jordan Love,
Definitely. See,
MLS.
and from what I hear, it's probably going to be his time to shine, and probably next season. So who's to say we won't have yet another one to add to this list?
Yeah, most definitely. And you know what? Again, and going back to basketball, hell, people they don't forget about Trey Young and Zach Levine, and because hey,
Again, all you gotta do is just look at who all when you think of stars in the NBA. Yeah, LeBron, he's probably gonna break his record, but once LeBron leaves, who's next?
yeah,
I mean Zion, he's hurt completely every year, so you can't count him. So it's like most of the players you think of are gonna be MLS players.
absolutely, man, absolutely. And you know what? If and you know what, like I said before, this is again, this is a start to where again we would that yeah it's time that again yeah people actually take us serious, not just because of our phenotype but what we can do.
I think probably I say like 5 to 10 years down the line, we're probably going to have to revisit this because there's probably going to be people talking about. I think it's time that we had the conversation about why the NBA keeps letting all of these mixed race and lighter than a brown paper bag Negroes in the NBA and the NFL, and why is it so racist in sports? I'm like, because you guys are racist in the bedroom.
Exactly. And the thing is that and if they really want to preserve their race, then don't sleep with other women, then sleep with your own.
We haven't taken ourselves serious and underestimate our abilities. You know what? That's an interesting. You know what? Here's here's the thing, and I can kind of speak in personal, like personal with this. I think the biggest problem is when you grow up in like cultures where it's a lot of like black, like darker skinned black people. You pretty much have to hide yourself a lot of times. Like you can't really show like anything that's like too just put you in a crowd by yourself. Because if you do that, you become a target. You can't you can't really show like any,
Basically, you stick out like a sore thumb.
yeah. So it's like people see that and they get kind of like insecure about it and they try to bring you down to their level.
I believe mixed race players are more unselfish and play a team oriented game. People complain about Steph Curry, but he is a team player and has a high IQ. Yeah, yeah.
Look no further than the Warriors.
And really, and even with the Warriors, now a lot of people want to give Steve Kerr as if Steve Kerr is the main head that is responsible for the Warriors team. Like, nah, the person that really made the Warriors team the way that they are is Mark Jackson.
Right, yeah. He was the one that was there before Steve Kerr was even there. He was
Right?
the one that really even started to develop the Curry that we assassin that we see now.
Oh yeah. And even though and even DJ, And again, even though Steph and Clay are known as the Splash Brothers, one happens to be an MGM and one happens to be biracial. I don't see any of those two complaining about that at all. It's like they take the success and they take the talent what they have, which is an oriented, game, and they run with it. They show people what they can do. Whether it's shooting threes, making layups, dunking.
Oh my goodness! Look who joined the party. We got Kier, goddamn Jones. We got an OG in this. See, now we're going all the way back to the A9 and LSM days with this one.
Oh shit! Hey, that's one thing I got excited for. It's Man Cave Mondays.
Yes, sir. We talking sports today, and we about to talk a lot of ish.
So feel free to throw a name out there. The Warriors leaders are light skinned, but I'm still mad how Steph and Clay didn't kick Draymond off a punching pool. Draymond has a jealousy issue and projects his insecurities to vulnerable. You know what, Justin? I agree with that. I do. Even I was mad at that, and I spoke out. And I said, people are gonna make here come the memes. Oh, look, Draymond Green knocked another light-skinned dude out. See, I be telling y'all, these light-skinned dudes, I'm like, shut up. He did that because of the fact that he knows that if they wanted to get rid of him, he knows they can get rid of him.
I mean, Draymond Green, he was a good player, but I mean, he's a good playmaker, but his defense is lacking. He can't shoot like he used to. Like the man is a shadow of his former self. And it's only a matter of time before the Warriors realize that he's holding that team back.
And you know what though, and a lot of other people have also said the same thing, where they've been doing videos about Draymond, that he's basically just getting paid to be an average player. Like they just don't see the talent. Even though he came out of college, but it's like, so how do you come out of college, but at the same time, you let your game just dissolve over time?
You know what, Justin? You definitely, what the last sentence you said pretty much hit the nail on the head. We don't have it cold. Because here's the thing. Okay, we got all these outside people that are talking about, okay, we got pretty much darker skinned black people, pretty much men and women talking about it. But when really becomes a problem when you have MLS people themselves hopping on these bandwagons of like, how you gonna talk about me like that? I do that. I was like, bruh, what are you doing? You're agreeing with this nonsense?
Yeah, and it really becomes disappointing and disheartening at the same time that they actually do. They go with what's known as what they believe is the status quo.
And you know what? I gotta throw a name out there. Mystic got jokes. That guy is just a complete embarrassment.
Wow.
If you just type up his name, if I was on this screen alone, I probably would show you guys, but I don't want to trigger you guys because it's just, oh my goodness. Got directed to the channel by a friend. Oh, appreciate it.
Oh, what's going on, Thunder?
What's up, Tor LA? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep, that's what it's all about. And you know what though, and that's the thing too, because like, and also another thing that we've allowed other people to, I guess, speak for us and also speak on, our behalf as if we don't have a voice, like we wasn't born to speak. And it's like, um, what makes you think you represent us? Whether you want to throw in the black classification.
How do you feel about Mahomes being fucked? I can't stand it. It just makes me sick. Especially there is I'm pretty sure I really don't have to say this guy's name because I'm pretty sure you guys know who he is. But it's like this particular character has the most to say about MLS men, but the second they do something and they, for whatever reason, say they're black, this supposed guy just goes, "See, they say they're black, so you guys have nothing." I'm like, okay, let's get one thing straight. And this might come off the wrong way with some people, but if you look at like a lot of these MLS celebs, when well, yeah, mixed celebs, and they say that they're black, all we got to do is look who their partners are. Like
Exactly.
Mahomes, yeah, he'll say he's black, but look at who his wife is.
And you know what though, and also as well, it does in a way, some of that does tend to, like, again, really depends on your gender and your region as well, that you may not necessarily have the options in comparisons to other people in the East Coast or even in the West Coast or even somewhere down south, and you're located in the Midwest and you necessarily can't hook up or get with partners that will resemble you a little bit.
Oh,
I swear MLS get black cooch, and be down for the cause until they get out of their light skin guilt. Wow.
you
And
know, you know what? I, I, I don't know what it does to them, but they're doing something right. That's all I can say.
yeah.
Because these guys, just, yo,
Hey, what's going on, Will? Oh, sorry that we didn't
oh,
say what's up to you.
what's up, Will?
Because yeah, it's like, hey, we talking our shit tonight.
Jesse Williams. Oh, oh. You know what? You would think. See, there's another. You would think how these people be raving and raving about light skin privilege. You would think somebody like Jesse Williams would have like a bigger career than what he's at. He's only really had that one role, and that's pretty much it. You would think somebody like him would be on like movie after movie after movie after movie.
And and also, and this also made to be another, bar burner here, that really reason why he sort of even got the recognition, not because he spoke out, but really because, let's be real, black women put him on that pedestal for speaking out on their issues.
Bingo.
And so when it's like, so at that point, it's like, hey, it's like, no matter what, if we could just get somebody that will speak for us in our plight, then they'll be accepted no matter what.
Right.
Whether even if it was a white dude or Hispanic dude or even an Asian, they got to have somebody to carry on that banner and fight for them. more or less, fight for themselves.
Okay, what's up, Tora?
What's happening, man? Y'all can hear me?
Oh
Yes,
yeah, we
sir.
can hear you.
Oh, what's going on, guys? It's been a minute, man. Since I got on the chat with y'all.
Yeah, been trying to
Yeah,
get.
hey, you know what, man? We talking some shit tonight. So this is Man Cave Mondays.
Yeah, we was. I don't know if he was here from the beginning, but we was talking about the rise of the MLS, like sports figures. Like we got the supposed first black quarterback ball, where we got Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, that are basically two MLS men that are going to be in the first ever black quarterback ball.
So imagine the outcries when it comes to, oh, this Super Bowl is Boule and Blue Vein, and I'm like, shut up.
Real talk.
Hey,
Ain't gonna jump in.
hey, y'all
Ain't gonna
know
jump in. You go ahead.
the audio's echoing, right?
Oh, our audio is echoing. That might be. Hopefully, that's not me because I kind of had to change my cord at the last minute.
Mm.
Okay, Jay Sharp, you're part of the stream, man.
Yes, I was talking up a storm, so why not join the show and just chime in? Hello?
Hear
Oh
you loud
yeah.
and clear, man.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I had to close my YouTube because I'm not used to doing these streams, so I was hearing myself talk over me. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is such a good chat, and it's good that this is brought up, especially when it comes to mixed athletes. How come we're classified as being black when we're good athletes, but if we perform poorly, then we're not all the way black, and we're pretty much a pariah. So we're pretty much used as black benefit when we excel, but we can't excel on our own. I think it's insulting.
I agree.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because they believe, because again, and I guess what this is what it also comes with the mindset as well, that
Oh,
you
okay, I
know,
fixed it. My bad. It was sorry to interrupt AMR. Sorry, it was something on my end.
Oh, okay, good. All right, what were you saying?
yeah, that I was saying it's also, again, the mentality that they have to where and they do this a lot, especially when it comes to MLS men, whether they're light skinned, MGM, biracial, or what have you.
I
Um,
just don't understand it though, because what do we do to dark skinned people? Like it's like we committed a genocide, like how the Japanese genocide the Koreans. Like, what did we do in order to be labeled as bad guys and for us to not even classify as our own racial group? What did we do that was so evil? We created black colleges. That's hijacked. Booker T. Washington, he's demonizing black history, but if you look at his uh, Atlanta Compromise, it makes a lot of sense. And he created Tuskegee, and that gave birth to the Tuskegee Airmen. So what did we do that was so bad and heinous in the black community where people don't
I
want to,
I
classify us?
I personally feel it's out of insecurities. You know,
It's adulation, pretty much. Like people want us to clap for them.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we've been practically forced into being a, how can I say, a subordinate group. So,
I don't know
anything,
why,
but
because we
anything we
keep our
do,
communities clean. We're conservative.
I mean, anything we do is it's going to be highlighted. That's just how it is, you know. But the reactions that you just mentioned right there with the sports or anything in the media is out of insecurities and like just shaming, guilt tripping, control. You know people's insecurities everywhere is going to show in the job, in the media. They just want to keep others down. So that's where I would say us as MLS men, you know, we gotta band together and put our agenda first.
Yes, and one thing that we have to do is we have to show our teeth because what I'm noticing in the workplace is that non-black groups they're disrespecting us as well because they see our image on TV and it's a soft one, and that's why I don't like the light skin stereotypes because it's funny and whatnot, but at the same time it trickles over into real life. You know, art imitates life, and if you keep on having these stereotypes and you don't nip it in the bud, guess what? People are going to see and they're going to act accordingly. It's good to make a joke, but it's not good to make stereotypes that can affect your life.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned that because, you know, people are gonna show you how they feel. Like, regardless, how they feel is gonna come out through their actions, through their words, or something like that. So if they sit there and make all these, you know, MLS jokes towards us or other people, like, look, man, that's how they really feel about you. There's no hiding it. The more you try to deny it or you know, sweep it under the rug, that the worse it's gonna get. It's like a bully, you know what I'm saying? They prey on the weak or who's
And
not
also,
gonna
they don't like our
respond.
leadership. You know, if you try to lead a group of dark skinned people, they'll try to backstab you because they want a dominant position over us. But when we lead and try to be fair, then there's tons of problems. So I'm not a colorist. I don't hate dark skinned people, but there has to be a sense of reciprocation. It's like, look, if I do things for you, then I expect respect in return. And if you keep backstabbing me, then we're just going to separate and we don't have to do anything with each other.
What I would say about that, I mean, look,
I
there's
was in the
good.
military, so I had these experiences. So it
No,
was,
I know what you're saying,
Yeah.
but you know, I've seen this in the workplace and other environments. But like, look, man, there is nothing you can do like with certain groups, man. Like, we all know that you know we're talking about you know black, white, and we all know there is backstabbing in both groups. They do it to each other. They're gonna do it within their own groups. They're gonna do it to outside groups, man.
well,
You can't fix that.
well, what
So
I'm
the
saying is,
best thing
my
to
bad,
do is
sorry.
to watch over our backs and look out for each other more than anything.
Yes, and that's what I was going to get
No
to.
need to spread hate to them because that's just gonna you know
That's
throw
just gonna make it worse.
put gasoline on the fire. You know we gotta look out for each other and then have our own boundaries and set a code and rules.
And that's the problem
And, you know,
because in the workplace,
I'm looking at this comment right here where light skinned men and women fight back. They make us look like the villains, like they do Will Smith and Christian Rock or Chris Rock, like they don't want us to defend ourselves. And I say referring to the slap, yeah, the slap also winning an Oscar at the same time. And my thing is, it's like, now, yes, I understand Chris Rock is a comedian, but at the same time, though, and Chris is known for like throwing certain insults out there that people are not necessarily expected to defend themselves because, like, hey, well, I'm a comedian, I tell jokes for a living. Okay, fine, but there's a time and a place for everything, and that right there just wasn't necessarily one of them. Now, some people may say that, oh, Will shouldn't have done that. You know, I don't know. And I'm like, only if y'all knew what Will Smith was going through.
Yeah,
I'll say
And
this:
shit,
Will Smith did to himself because why would you even stay with a woman that openly disrespects and cheat on you? So that's Will Smith's doing, and Will Smith he needs to take accountability and grow a pair and actually leave Jada Smith because that relationship is beyond repair at this point.
Oh man, don't even.
I would agree. You know Will Smith, he's a talented. I like him. You know I respect him in his work, but like he gotta get his mind right and see and like think 10, 15 moves ahead and see what
What's
he
up,
wants to
dude?
do. Because like, dude, like you can't sit there and get embarrassed by your wife like that on an open talk show in front of everybody, the whole world. She put it out there that she had a so-called entanglement and made a fool of you, and
She
then
didn't even have any remorse. She was laughing too.
yeah, no remorse, no nothing, and then they both agreed to a bad marriage. I'm like,
Well, maybe Will Smith he needed that. He needed that embarrassment because at the end of the day, people know this situation, and you know you need tough love. Maybe Chris Rock, he was right by doing that because Will Smith is a clown for even staying with Jada. Like, he's submitting himself, so he's just adding fuel to his own fire.
Yeah, I mean,
You got some background sound.
Yeah, somebody has feedback.
yeah,
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
yeah, but Chris
just
Rock,
reading
I
back
mean,
on.
yeah, he makes jokes and stuff like that, but you know, I mean, he's a harmless dude. I understand where AMR was talking about. There's a time and place, but you know, at the same time, I realize like Chris Rock, he's just more of a harmless dude. He's not really anybody to be acting out towards like that, unless he really crosses the line. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I look at it like this. If you take into consideration everything that Jada has done, Will already had a very questionable reputation before, but that slap just cooked that into like
Oh, I
he
actually
was
like this comment right here that Shaladra Childers placed out. So, was she saying that dark skinned men they project their shortcomings onto light skinned men, and in turn they want light skinned women? So they're
Yeah,
pretty much.
And and that's also the thing that we've been sort of having this conversation about, where it's like, and again, and it's like you'll have the men coming over. It's like they hate the men, but they like the women, or the women, even on the women's side, they hate the women, but they love the men. And it's like, okay, so how do you gonna like one
Well,
over
the
the
thing
other?
about it, they're trying to C-word us. Like, sometimes I feel C-worded. I can't say on YouTube, and I don't
Yeah.
want to get this video demonetized, but you know what I mean when I say the C word. So that's how I feel. So you're going to insult light-skinned men, but you're going to secretly talk behind our backs to light-skinned women, and that you want us to accept it and call us brothers? Like, how is that even a transparent relationship?
No, that's true. Like, we can't sit here and lie. Like, the women in the community have been conditioned, trained, and brainwashed into thinking a certain way about, what is masculine looking, what is feminine looking. And same thing with the, dark skinned men. Like, if they've been trained in their own settings and condition, there's nothing you can do about that.
Well, you can. Like, you can have like artwork, propaganda. You can have your own platform, and I believe that is a learned behavior. Because what happened to light-skinned men? We've been on an island too long, and I think the consequence of us not stitching together is a result of the issues that's going on right now. Because
I
we
definitely agree with that.
we always say that, oh, we're humans. I'm mixed with everything. I love the whole entire world, but the world doesn't love us. And light-skinned men, for the most part, we're conservative. We have the willpower to become a powerful group, but we want to be isolationists. And the thing about being on an island, that leaves everybody to attack us from all fronts.
Yeah, and that's where it goes back to my point earlier, where I say where as light men, MLS men, we gotta look out for one another. I make conversations with other MLS men on my own job. You know what I'm saying? I see some of them, they be ISO, and I go up and make the conversation, man.
Well, that's bad. Like, we need to get out of that ISO mentality, because one thing that's not talked about, we've been called gay throughout our childhoods, and we think that we're bonding with our brothers, that we're the G word, because we've been raised up with that stereotype.
Or better, or if it's not that, then it's like, oh, you can't fight, or you look like somebody that would be wearing a dress, and I'm like, I ain't wearing no dress ever in my life, so I don't know.
I'd say light-skinned men are conservative, more conservative than black men. To be honest, we're very conservative.
I mean, on average, you know how hard it is to find a light-skinned dude with a dress on. That's hard to find. You can find plenty of other races of men with dresses on.
Yeah,
Like,
probably. That's about it.
When it comes to the whole like golden men, like MLS men, Asian, Hispanic, Middle Eastern men, like you ain't gonna see too many of us wearing dresses. But when it comes to the other groups, they gonna be in dresses or whatever is going on in the alphabet gang or whatever. But
yeah, and that's where, that wanting to put a certain narrative out there where the more you say it long enough, the more people will believe it,
Yeah.
and
And
that alone right there can be more damaging most than anybody, because like how many times we have to say that about somebody left from a specific group of people, whether they be male or female, and just to get just so you can get just so you can get some yeses, yes men and yes women. And Duke says, "Is everyone here supporting Future's goal?" Oh yeah, absolutely, Duke.
yeah, definitely.
Shout outs to her too.
And
All right,
definitely,
shout outs to
and like,
Future is golden.
and I also feel like, you know, as gold MLS men, that we have to promote our own image from the bottom up, like from like how we're promoted in the media,
And
how we
don't
conduct
promote their
ourselves in
image
outside of the
of
media.
us.
Yeah, we have to promote ourselves better.
But pretty much grassroots. And one thing too is like, let's put a priority on education, because a lot of light skinned men, they don't get good grades. And I believe that sometimes us getting easy pass because we're a proxy is going to bite us in the back. So we have to start competing and put a priority on education, obtain new skill sets. And with these skill sets, we can outreach the community and educate more people and compete in industry. So we have to find industries that we can excel in, and then bring along our brothers and our sisters and compete that way. We need more artists. Well, not like music artists, but I mean drawing, engineers, doctors, lawyers. We need all these industries so we can actually operate as our own society for the
Yeah,
most part.
yeah, I
Right.
definitely agree with that. You know, MLS men in
Absolutely too.
being in
And again,
industries is
and
important.
sooner or later, the world will be filled with more Neil deGrasse Tysons of the world. So
I don't think so. There's like a myth that light skinned people are taking over, but I don't think that's the. I don't really think it's true. Like you'll have it in sports, but we're still a small group. I believe that we appear bigger than what we really are.
I
Because
mean, I
you,
mean,
what were you gonna say?
no, I was saying, I mean, with all the IR dating that's going on, I mean, if this keeps up at this rate, you know, the world will be golden. But if not, you know, then
But you see a lot of men that all right, they say they don't want light skinned sons, but they want light skinned daughters. So they don't like their sons, but they like their daughters. So their sons, they're pretty much going to be blocked out, and then their daughters, they're going to give their daughters to other dark skinned men.
wouldn't be surprised.
So
Wouldn't be surprised.
you have a problem in yourself, and also these light skinned sons that they raise up, they're going to make them date dark skinned women and shame them to do that. So pretty much they're actually getting darker, but they're doing it, methodically.
I guess that's just using. I guess. What are your thoughts on that statement, AMR and Brown and Page?
now I'm gonna let Brown and Beige answer this one first.
He must have
Hey, you
stepped
still
away.
there, man?
He must have stepped
Okay.
away.
Yeah, okay. Well, you
So
know what? Like, my thing is this, because now I don't know if anybody has children here, but when it comes to taking that step, anybody can have children, but then again, we never, it's like we won't necessarily know like who at first hand, whether or not it's going to be a boy or a girl, or if the man or woman is going to decide, on their children.
What's up,
But
Thunder?
what's up, Thunder?
Hey guys, how you doing?
We're doing all
We're all right,
hanging in
man.
there.
How you doing?
Good. My thoughts on this whole professional, athletic, and educational thing is that you need to build confidence in your sons. Since we're talking sports and we're talking about this male sports thing, I only have a daughter, and I've done the same thing. But you need to build confidence in your sons, so that they can fire back at some of these guys that are calling you soft. I never had a reputation of being soft on the basketball court or the football field. And once you do that, even in the workplace, then you get respect. I agree. And I don't know everybody up here. In fact, I only have had exchanges with AMR, but the I agree with somebody that said you need to build bridges with other light skinned men
Yeah,
because
that was me. I was telling them that you know, I'd be on the job and I'd be seeing other MLS men, and I see them, they operate in isolation. I used to be like that too because I didn't have nobody really to relate to at times. I had to, make friends with other groups. So, I go out of my way to reach out and, you know, shake hands, introduce myself with other MLS men on the job. As soon as I make eye contact, I'm trying to start the conversation, and that's important, man. I
yeah, it
tell
is. It is important, and for I think you lead by example. So you probably made them feel comfortable, broke the ice, and then they responded. How did they respond to you once you did that?
no, man. I mean, like, I'm about to finish up my bachelor's in school, so I'm working two
Oh,
jobs. My
congratulations.
main job and my second job, my retail job, and on my second job, when I broke the ice, man, a smile came on their face, man. That's the thing. Like, you never know what could happen when you break the ice, and then you finally have somebody to relate to, and you can talk with. You know what I'm saying? And then now you build a relationship. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I started breaking the ice, and it worked out, and build connections. And I find
Yeah,
that
I
I
think
I told them that last time I was up on the stream with them too.
I think that is important because once you do that and then you build that camaraderie and then you have somebody that you can talk to with respect to what's going on the job, advancement possibilities, people who are talking, you get to share information back and forth, etc. I've had the chance to be in the workforce for a while, and I can give you an example of there were three of us at an airline, and we had a unspoken unspoken nod kind of where we were going to look out for each other. And one of the guys I had gone to law school with, and I felt I wasn't getting my due. I filed an EEO action, and the attorney that happened to get the assignment was a guy I had gone to school with. So he put some levers and things started to click with me. Um, but just as I'll give you this example on the basketball court. One time I was playing basketball. It was simply an intramural game, and pickup basketball. I happened to be captain of one of the teams because it was only 11 guys out there. You know how you shoot to get first pick, et cetera, et cetera. And there was a brother out there, and he was friends with a guy who had played basketball for the university, but his game was shit. He couldn't play. He couldn't play a, a dime. Right. So there was this white girl that was there. She was like 6'2", 6'3". She had played for another Pac-10
Whoa.
school, and she could ball. Right. Well, I had to go to work. Right. And I wanted to at least get like 2, 3 games in before I left the court. And I picked the guy that had played for the university, and then I picked her. And the guy that played for the university was like, why didn't you pick my boy? I don't want to play with a female. I was like, man, your boy can't play. That's why I picked her. And she plays for another Pac-10 school. We ran the court for like 4 games. The guy that played basketball for the university, after the first game, he left my team, right? I picked up another guy. We ran 2 more games after that competing against him. And I looked at him like, see, that's the reason I picked her, because you can play on the other team, but you as a single individual aren't gonna beat us. Right. So you gotta have that confidence and you gotta go up against these guys. I think I was the original white men can't jump player, right? Because my boys would tell me, they'd say, don't shoot the ball, right? Just go over there, sit on the bench. They didn't see us get out the car together when we were teenagers. Don't shoot the ball. When they picked me, the fifth player, they're like, why are you picking him? And then I'd get my 2-3 points out of 12 and just baffle everybody. But you got to have that sense of confidence. You got to be tough, like you do on the court. You got to do it in the military, like my man was talking about. And you got to do it on the job. And then you do. I do really appreciate whomever it was that said they introduce themselves to the other light-skinned guy, because I think that is one of the most important factors there. Some of the guys just aren't going to be confident enough, assured of themselves enough, and you got to break that ice sometimes. And once you do that, then you get to build through numbers. Even if it's just one or two of you, that shows a sense of camaraderie, and it's harder for them to really come at you.
Oh yeah, because like I was saying
Absolutely.
before, like again, when you again, Ron Page made this point earlier that when you're, when you have to be an MLS man surrounded by people of other different groups, and you just happen to be sticking out like a sore thumb, um, you are going to be subjected to being targeted or being fucked with, depending on what the crowd is. And even for me and where I live, and I think what was it, a couple of months ago, I was actually, getting at a bar, kicking with some MLS folks, and and this right here, it's like, yo, this right here had to be like one of the most funnest experiences that I've ever had. And we was talking shit, yeah, we was, having fun, eating, drinking, exchanging dialogue.
Yeah, and I support that. You know what I'm saying? Like my two uncles. Well, they're not really my uncles. They were really close friends with my dad, because my dad, he's high yellow, light
Yeah.
skin type of dude, and he went to high school with these guys. He was real cool with them. They were also MLS men, and they became friends with our family, and like I refer to them as uncles, and I talk to them still to this day. You know what I'm saying? I had a conversation with him, one of them last weekend. You know what I'm saying? And it's just things like that, that can build connections. You know what I'm saying? It can go a long way, and you have a network, and you don't feel like you're in these other groups. You're not subject to be around these other groups who probably secretly don't like you, secretly possibly don't want you around or see you as competition and want and put you down, like. And that's why I find it important that we seek out the ones that we can relate to, because it's nothing like having somebody you can relate to in the when you can pick up that phone and dial the phone or a text message.
Right.
guess-
To add, my bad. To
I
add
guess-
on to what
No,
go
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, my bad. So to add on to what he said, we pretty much need a new culture, and we need better values. We need to stop backstabbing each other or telling each other secrets, and we have to make each other feel open up. We have to open up each other pretty much, and we have vulnerabilities. We have the same stories and experiences, and we shouldn't use those things against each other. And we have to operate as a brotherhood. And
Yeah.
last of all, we cannot let outsiders criticize us. We should start workplace groups or semi-unions to end workplace harassment towards us.
Yeah, you know what? I mean that I was going to ask. So how do you think you combat that, right? And so what I think you just gave an answer to that. I don't think it has to be formalized necessarily, but as long as you're there and you're watching out for each other, maybe you just have informal get-togethers, go out for a drink or what have you. Um, it's the workplace is similar to especially in corporate America. Never served in the military, but I suspect it's like that in the military. Any organized group like that, where you have to assert yourself. And when you assert yourself, people are either going to confront you or they're going to back down. I mean, so when you got for instance, there was a guy that an AMR kind of heard me use this example before, but when there was a guy from Chicago, he was really dark, and he said something to me, and I said to him. God, I'm always forgetting the name of this movie, and I use it so often. Um, but I told him, I said, don't get this shit twisted. I mean, this isn't a movie. This is real life. So don't think, you're Wesley Snipes and I'm what's his name in the movie. And so
Oh, yeah, New Jack City, Christopher
New Jack
Lloyd.
City. I told him, I said, don't get this shit twisted here. I said, and he got what I was saying, and guess what? He backed down, and guess what? We became close, and guess what? I started getting some nice assignments, and they weren't going to challenge me anymore. But the
But I
reality,
disagree with you, though. I
okay,
respectfully disagree because you're saying that we should handle these problems informally, but this is not the early 2000s, and you have social media, you have all these networks. I say start a website and handle the problem formally. Get their names, issues, pictures, and have funding because we need lawyers and judges on our side. Because
oh, listen, I don't disagree with that, but when you're
at the
in
end of the day, it has to be though. It has to be formal. It can be
it has,
informal until it becomes too far.
I think until there's something where we're designated as a group, formalized as a group, it's going to be difficult. But there is, I do believe, intraracial discrimination, but that's going to be very hard to prove. In fact, lawsuits haven't been successful when people argue that. But I do agree with you. I
Well, I
mean,
would make a suggestion though, because Brown and Beige, he has 700 subscribers. How come we cannot start a petition on Change.com demanding that we become our own classification, or just start off as small? Because we're spread out. We have good jobs, but not. And even if we don't have good jobs, most of us are in school. We're law abiding. How come we can't start off with 1,000 people and network? Because we're going to have to do it ourselves. We can't depend on other people to classify us.
I
We have to
think
take the
that's a good
initiative.
suggestion. I think that's a good suggestion.
Actually, we do have one. It's you guys probably know Caesar Cannon. So if you guys have time, I'll probably put the link in his petition, probably in the description. Yeah, he's got a petition out for probably like a couple of, I think maybe like 2 years now. That's
Yeah,
exactly
I
for
never
that.
got the chance to sign that thing, but I did tell you guys a while back that I do plan on, when I finish graduating, I do plan on building a website for us, and I would love for you guys to collaborate with me.
That
Probably
one's just
around.
fun. Yeah, I want to pay.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I really want to do that. Build a website, and we host it. And we can write our stories. Put our message out there, and go from there.
And one thing too, like if we start writing on stories, then we need to retain our historical figures, because Booker T. Washington, he's not black, he's MLS. Mahomes, he's not black, he's MLS. So we need to retain our historical figures that have been hijacked from us. Joe Louis, MLS. Muhammad Ali, MLS. You have all these light-skinned professors that have been hijacked by black people that belong to us. Like, look at Tuskegee. It should be an MLS institution, but that's been
Thurgood Marshall.
hijacked.
Thurgood Marshall, MLS.
But it's been hijacked.
W.E.B. Du Bois, or
Frederick Douglass.
No, Booker T.
Frederick-
Washington. Du Bois was black.
Oh, he was.
No, wait.
It was Booker T.
Now,
Washington that was MLS.
Du Bois. Have you seen pictures of Du Bois?
Well, he doesn't have a clear picture, but I know Booker T. Washington for sure because I read his biography. But
I
there
have
was
seen
people,
pictures
Du Bois.
of Du Bois. I've seen
If he's
pictures
black
of
in-
Du Bois.
Then
He's
I'm correct.
MLS. He's
Okay.
MLS.
I
Yeah,
stand corrected. My apologies.
Right, no problem. But what's his name? That one was one of the creators of the United Nations. Brooks. I forget his full name. Brooke or Brooks. I mean, MLS guy. Born in Detroit, grew up in LA, and was one of the founders, one of the people who wrote the charter for the United Nations, MLS.
Edward
Colin Powell, MLS. Rosa
Ed-
Parks.
Right, MLS, exactly.
Malcolm X.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. We can work on that when we get there.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
You know, and we can just spread the message to other MLS men that we know and let them know that we have a space for us, a website, you know, and we can promote our own and our own image. We ain't gotta take shots at other groups. There's no
Oh
need
no,
for
of
that.
course not. No.
No, we don't.
No,
we
no,
don't.
no.
We don't want that kind of attention. But
Right.
you know, we can build our image and our, platform.
We don't need to take shots, but we'll fight back if people take shots at us because at the end of the day, there's going to be aggressors. If we have our own group, then people are going to feel threatened because that's more competition. So we're going to have enemies down the line. It's just
yes.
inevitable.
Yeah, we just need to make sure we're prepared for that.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I don't like taking shots. It's just we need to return to our history and not have our history hijacked because Booker T. Washington, all these MLS figures, they're part of Black history, which is not fair because at the same time, you're debating if light-skinned men are fully Black today, but you want to keep our achievers for yourselves.
makes no sense whatsoever.
I get what you're saying, but I'm not too.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm not going too crazy over that, but I want to, because me personally, I know what you're saying is, in the past, but me, I'm focused on, right now and building
Fair enough.
for our image in the present. You know what I'm saying?
And maybe I'm just more aggressive. I have an aggressive approach, but like I said, I want to just follow and just be part of this. Just invest the
I'm
time
sorry.
and resources.
Who's speaking now? What's you said you were aggressive. What's your name on here?
Justin Sharp. I'm aggressive as in how we need to move. Like we need to be more of an authoritarian group, and we need to emphasize our focuses on discipline, education, and better ethics and culture. We need a new culture overhaul. We have to be open to new ideas, and just go out there in the world and take those ideas and bring them back home, and just venture with other groups so we can grow our group.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. And when I said on the job and informal group, because unless you have it formalized, or unless you want to make a union like you suggested, you're not going to really get too far with that within corporate America or even the military. And that's why I was saying that you have to have some informal association, as with the other guy that was talking about where he went and he broke the ice with other guys that were in his department or worked with him, etc.
Fair enough.
So I don't disagree with you. And with respect to
I'm Tor LA.
Okay, Tor LA. Even with respect to a group like this that can make noise, Thurgood Marshall. I happen to have gone to Howard, and I happen to have been one of the committee members that put on a program where we had 6 of the Supreme Court justices at our school to celebrate Thurgood Marshall. Thurgood came, and 5
Wow.
other justices came, right? So when if I had been a part of a group like this when the movie came out, we should have raised holy hell when the person playing Thurgood Marshall was not an MLS guy, right? Because blacks will come up and say, why are you having, especially with respect to females, they will always say, why isn't a black female playing this person, right? Well,
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
and you know,
and
yeah, like and that's and I think Brown and Beige coined the term a long time ago, blackwashing, where you'll have monoracial black, again, like with all due
Oh,
respect,
like an Emmett
they
Till
will,
movie.
right,
they will play our historic figures.
Even Malcolm
Uh,
X.
right.
That's one of my
and
favorites
I
right
and,
there.
and I was
Okay.
throwing jokes. I remember making a joke. I was like, "Hey, one of these days, the baby might end up playing me." And I'm like, "Y'all bet." And I better see some protests. I better see some advocacy, because I don't look like no damn baby.
Right.
Real talk.
Right. So informally, a group like since Beige and Brown has so many followers or so many subscribers, I mean, a group just like us could then do a campaign and assault on a movie studio and say, "Get it right." We're not gonna sit here and let you uh, uh, put an actor on that doesn't really reflect the true nature of the guy that's supposed to be played, whether it's Joe Lewis, whether it's Barack Obama, if something gets made of him,
Oh, they'll blackwash
or
him.
Oh
whoever.
yeah, yeah, that's coming. That's coming.
Oh,
Give it
too
Right,
another
late. That
decade.
already happened.
right.
Southside
but
with you.
but the thing of it is, they should get an actor that's appropriate,
Yeah,
color
and
appropriate.
and you know what's crazy about that? These other groups, like whites, Asians, they won't allow you to come in and you know take their figures and replace them with something crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Even cartoons. So look at Mermaid and see the pushback that the Black Mermaid has received on YouTube.
I
I
mean,
remember I saw a
that
picture.
that was on them. I don't know why why they're striving to take other people's roles. Like,
Yeah, I
why are
agree.
you even doing that? Like,
I
But
I
agree.
there's
don't
a
know.
pushback. That's the message I'm trying to get across, because when our roles are stolen, there's no pushback. We actually cheer on. But if we stole their roles, you'll have massive pushback. We'll be
Yeah,
accused of colorism, racism, all types of hateful things that we'll be accused of if we hijacked other roles.
yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like, I had an argument a couple of months back in the barbershop with this dude. He was like, you know, I don't know why they don't want to make a James Bond a black man. I'm like, why does
He
he need
Yeah,
shouldn't.
to?
He's white.
I
Yeah,
agree.
exactly. James
I
Bond was
agree.
always a
Yeah,
white man. Like,
yeah,
Well, what
if
if
you
yeah.
he
want, if
what
you
if he
want
had a
your
light
own
skin Michael
action
Jordan?
series, if you want your own action series, black man, promote your own, create
Oh,
your
yeah, that's
own. Why do
fair
you
enough.
why does the white man have to sell his image to you? I'm like, yo, look,
Absolutely.
man,
I
Yeah,
think
there's
it's
a
yeah.
problem right now
embarrassing.
with that imagery thing, and it's like, yo, man, they just don't want to accept that. And like, I had this argument with that guy a couple months back in the summer, I think. And I'm like, dude, James Bond has always been a white man, and it's going to continue to be a brunette white man. Don't try to change it. I don't even want to see that, but damn self.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
ironically, a black man can't even afford James Bond lifestyle. There will be no such thing as a black Batman. Like Bruce Wayne's, he's a multi-billionaire. There's no black man that's a multi-billionaire, so that's unrealistic in itself. And it's
I mean,
foolish to hijack these
no,
rich man roles.
I mean,
You're not rich.
we have a few black billionaires, black male billionaires. I think there's
Well, only 12. Well, let's say
Robert Smith in America, and I'm pretty sure there's a few
a
in
few
probably
streets
Europe or
though.
Africa.
LeBron
You're
is
But
asking
black.
like
listen, but if you're talking about somebody that works for the government as a CIA agent or a spy novel, there are plenty of guys that are going to look like us that are out there doing this from different countries as well. So
fair enough.
you don't have to be a billionaire to portray something like that. But I do agree. I don't want to see. I don't think we should go after James Bond. I think we can create our own figure that looks like that.
Yeah,
And
like
I've read about some figures that have existed
yeah,
that are look like us. So
We
yeah. I
can
mean,
play. You can play a World War II general. Like we can have a movie based off that because there was many light skinned World War II officers that showed valor. Like even Colin Powell. How could there's no movie about Colin Powell and he's been trashed like his entire life. He needs posthumous justice because a lot of us have trashed Colin Powell nor noticed him on the mainstream scale.
I think the Hudlin brothers are light. I wonder why they haven't done a movie that really portrays something like that
Well,
or have
Hodge brothers
pushed
are
that.
neutralists, and
Yeah.
I like the Hodge brothers, but I believe they play neutral field, which is dangerous because they invite all these other racial groups, but it would be good for them to promote light skinned men. But I believe in my right mind, they're afraid of the pushback that they would receive, and they'll lose so many subscribers for being colorist if they promote light skinned men publicly because they have 600,000 subscribers, and at that point, the subscribers they boss you around because you had to write their message instead of your message.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I don't know if anybody remember this movie called Soul Man, The
Yeah.
Soul Man,
Hmm.
and it was a white dude, C. Thomas Howell. For those of you who know who played 24 Curtis in The Outside, why was it that like I don't remember there ever being a pushback where he was like he had to pretty much disguise his ethnicity to get Ray Dong Chunk by being a black man, and I'm like, seriously, you pretty much had to like dye your skin just because I'm like it's like necessarily use that whatever whiteness that you have together. You had to play an artificial to do so.
And you know what? I'd also like to add that whole movie with, I forgot
Oh,
it,
what's up,
but
Future?
when Tyler Perry had lightened his skin up to play Colin Powell, and that was just a complete slap in the face to MLS man.
And you know
Well,
what's
I
funny? Because Tyler Perry, it's funny that because he had a light skinned man playing in his movies and television shows as the love interest or the hero to the villainous dark skinned man. So
Well,
I mean,
he's pretty much a glorified simp. They put these light skinned men in Tyler Perry movies as glorified simps. We're pretty much like the pickup man, and we're feminine in his movies, and we're pretty much a woman's backup plan.
I also
I
would
would say
like
the
to
backup
add,
plan is pretty accurate, but not.
but not necessarily I don't necessarily know about the simp part though. Like
Yeah,
the
I
backup.
think the
I
one with
think
Shamar Moore and the one with Bow Wow and there was another one with the guy with the afro. He was a bus driver in the Tyler Perry
Oh,
movie.
yeah, Boris Kojo, Medea's family reunion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Light skin dude always ends up being the backup guy, And this is where I have a problem with light male promotion. That we have like this is where I say it's important. We have to be in industries, and even building businesses and being in industries, being taking the lead. Say in certain aspects, and so we can have a better image. Um, light men, we're too caught up in a box, we need to be able to see each other on the movie screen, as father figures, sports figures,
Hell,
Um,
as lovers, so you don't see
act,
light-skinned couples.
yeah,
No.
we can be
And
action
you know what?
heroes. We can play the neutral role. We can play any type of role. We need more better diverse promotion of light men.
And you know what? I also wanted to give a little Easter egg, but I'm working on like a massive project that's probably going to really be interesting. I'm about to talk about the decades long erasure of MLS males and how there had never really all throughout Hollywood has been like a patriarchal like MLS male in any like black TV show or movie.
You don't see MLS Mills anymore, except Trevor Noah, and even he caught the pink slip. You don't see MLS Mills on TV talking. We're pretty much background characters, or we're viewed as eye candy. But once it comes to anything intellectual or leading, you rarely see MLS Mills. We're pretty much non-existent in Hollywood.
After Barack Obama, it just started going downhill. We only have a few left. We only got Vin Diesel. I mean, how many? I mean, he's getting older now. We need fresh new
And to be
golden
honest,
male faces in the media.
Vin
Yeah,
Diesel
we
was
need.
never
I mean,
really.
Shamar Moore. I like him. He's in NCIS. I like that TV show. It's a
He's a
comedy.
C-list actor, though. We need more A-list. The only A-list actor that we have is The Rock, and The Rock, he's pretty much a neutralist. He doesn't even mention that he's MLS. He's pretty much his own entity and character. So if you have like the actors that profess their MLS, it's next to none. We don't have any actors that profess that they're MLS only. They have to say that they're black in order to gain favoritism, or not favoritism, but to gain favor with Hollywood and these black-owned production companies.
I
And
mean,
man,
yeah, because I
also,
mean, one wrong move with that, with the racial identity piece, there's gonna be all type of smoke in the air.
and may I also add that a lot of these guys are not really even promoted as like the eye candy if you really think about it. Like not really promoted as like the men that women just be like, ooh, like over, if that makes any sense. They're promoted more as like action heroes if you really think about it.
Which isn't bad. Action heroes, that's not bad. I can take that, but um, we need the father role promotion. We need,
Oh, fair enough. That's
we
good.
got the sports role promotion. Steph Curry and a few others, but we need more diverse promotion. We got, you know, what's some other categories of movies and TV, like art and stuff like that. We can invent things. We can be a even on the bad side of TV shows and promotion. Like we can be the evil mastermind as well.
Oh yeah, that's good too, because you need a balance between good and evil. Because the evil mastermind, a lot of people hate villains, but people cannot deny the cleverness of villains. So a villain figure can be viewed as clever, and they can relate to that to a light skinned man. So, oh, this light skinned villain is clever. Light skinned people are clever. They have tact. They can be ruthless once in a while. They can play both roles well.
Yeah, and I think with that kind of promotion, it would slow down, the ideas of, light skinned men being weak, and they will stop probably underestimating us or limit it probably.
Well, you
Oh
know
yeah.
what? Oh, my bad. I've always had the idea of creating a membership club where, we create a site, but it costs $20 a month for us to even stay on the site, because in order for us to move, we have to put our money down. I'm not talking about the management of funds, whatnot, but we need a membership club, identify what we do, what industry we're in, and just create a networking club, because we need these artists, we need engineers, doctors, laborers, we need all fields of industry conjoined in one group and website. We need a directory.
Yeah, that works.
Because we can talk about this all day. We can intellectually masturbate, talk about good ideas, but there's only so much time that we have to put into action and put our money down. Even $20 a month. $20 a month is not a lot of money. I think that's affordable.
I agree.
There's no excuses, because a lot of people eat out. So you're saying that you cannot afford $20 a month, but you can afford 4 McDonald's meals? in a 4-day span, but you can't afford something that's very vital and important to our community, there's no excuses.
I think I definitely agree. I think what it all boils down to, I think a lot of people they follow trends. I think for it to really like get off the ground, a lot of people are going out to see a couple of pioneers, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like that.
Well, it's not about following trends; it's about following rules and order because we need a code. And if you're off code, or you do something that's not within the appropriate behavior, then you're just going to get kicked off the group, and we're not going to help you. That's the problem because we're not strict with each other, and we need more discipline. We don't have enough discipline, and that has always been a problem with light-skinned men. We don't have discipline to stick with each other, nor follow a concrete code, and we have to kick out people that refuse to follow the code or they talk too much.
Yeah, I think with something like this, it's probably best to be more silent because
Oh yes, yeah, I'm silent. Yes, so
I mean, look what just happened with the passport bro situation. You know,
see,
before, it was very quiet, and I told these dudes, man, in the comment section in their channels, yo, stop going to these women's channels and telling them you got passports, you gonna go do this
that's
and
so
do that.
stupid. You know what they did?
Now,
That was so
now, now,
stupid.
now, look at it. Like now they got these women, bucking back, retaliating, going against the grain. And I'm telling you, these women, they're gonna find a way to mess up this passport bro movement. And I don't understand that. You know how these women are gonna respond. So why would you go over there and advertise what you about to do? Like you
Do you know
showing
what's
your
going to happen with them? A lot of these passport bros, they buy sex. I'm not in their business. You get it however you need to get, but they're going to make a law where you cannot buy sex overseas because you're still under American law. So if you get caught buying sex in these countries, then you're going to get arrested and then you're going to be taken back to the United States. That's what's going to
um
happen.
no, I don't think it works that way.
But they'll make a law. That's what I'm saying. I
I mean,
said they'll make a law.
I
They
don't think it works that way because you can't just go to another country and impose your laws. Like, no, it's not, it's you can't just do that. Like,
what I'm
if
saying
you go
is
to China, China's not gonna listen to me if I tell them like, hey, over here we do it like this, and this is how they're gonna tell you get the hell out.
no, I agree with you, but I said that they'll find a way because this is on Yahoo. Like if you look at Yahoo articles, there's black women that are writing articles on Yahoo that are going against passport bros, and Yahoo, that's a serious platform. That's an international platform, and you have large opposition. And what women are going to do, or people against the passport movements, are going to start protesting, making networks, putting your information out there. Whenever there's a will, there's a way, and you cannot underestimate your enemy's willpower because enemies will find a way to keep you down.
Yeah,
Listen,
that's
I
Oh,
think
that's
I think the passport bros are shooting themselves in the foot.
You're right
And
on.
it's not the American women that they have to worry about. It's the women in the countries that they visit that that are now, you know,
aware.
aware and kind of fighting back. So you got the young guy that just started down in Brazil. What was the
Oh, the Holloman
Brazilian?
cat,
Who did you say?
Austin
Yes,
Holloman.
yes. So you got the young guy, and the reason I follow that is because I live in the DR. I've been down here for 5 years, and I didn't come down here looking for a woman or what looking for love. I've been married twice, and I came down here to live. But I do see it a lot. But what you saw with the Hollerman guy is that he's on there making videos, and he asked a question, and he's portraying it as if they'll do anything for money, etc. And you've got women that do that, but then you've got just as many women that don't do that, and they're going to push back. And then that pushback is going to reflect bad on anybody that's trying to do something like that. So
And
with it, in the
guilty by
DR,
association.
Yes, exactly. And in the DR, most of those guys go to one place. And it's a city that the minute you say that's where you're going, I know what you're all about, right? I'm in the capital city. So I live my life. I go to the gym 3 days a week and I shop at grocery stores around where I am and trust me, they don't look at me like that.
You blend
Because
in, so
so I think that the American women are getting mad, but it's not the American women that these guys have to worry about, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon, to tell you the
It's the
truth.
men because we're
Uh,
ruining their women. Because is it
right.
true that the DR women have gained a lot of weight ever since black men have been traveling? So we're known for
No, no,
ruining
no, no, no,
women.
no. Okay, hold on.
My bad, my bad.
Let's not put that out there. Since I've been down here, I've seen an onslaught of American culture, and by American culture, I mean the fast food restaurants have exploded.
Oh, okay, my bad, my bad.
The fact that you've got candy down here now, candy
Oh
wasn't
boy.
even available down here a lot. The fact that you've got potato chips, Doritos, and that wasn't even available 5 years ago. It's exploded down here. So, I mean, you would, that is contributing to it. The American culture, bad habits is doing that. The passport bros, I don't think have much to do with that at all.
Okay, my bad.
Not
Because
not with
I've had
respect to their size.
misconceptions.
Yeah, not with respect to their size.
I
With
mean,
respect, yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I mean, I'm not against it. I mean, I understand like if you can't find the woman that you want here, then okay, if you feel like you can find it elsewhere, go ahead, go to another country and start over and see what you
Yeah,
can
just
find.
don't be a buffoon.
Just don't be a buffoon. But like like I said before, like when these dudes want to go take they announce to these on these women's channels like Chrissy, Danica Marie, and all them,
Right.
for Harriet. They want to
Oh
go over to
no.
their
No.
channels and announce like, yeah, I got a passport. I don't got to put up with you. And then now they're making video responses, and like my man said earlier, they're making responses. They putting it on Yahoo. I never seen anything. If they start putting it on Yahoo, that's an international platform, dude. Like,
Right.
what if they start catching wind of that and then they start locking down everything?
That's what
And
I'm
then
saying.
And they're
I'm like sitting there
punks.
like, now
They're literally punks.
you ruined it for other people who probably are not even on the same
Yeah,
nonsense.
tip.
Because some of these
And
dudes,
what?
right?
And why
Some of
are
these
you talking? My bad, sorry.
no, I'm saying like some of these dudes, they act like, you know, they down there. They say some of them say they down there building. Y'all ain't building nothing.
Well, here, let me
And
say
you know
about
what,
my
though?
my
And I
guys
also want to
from
make this. Oh,
my
go
guys
ahead.
from Detroit. My guys from Detroit, and anybody who's listened to me on a panel knows that's where I'm from. I one of the guys from Detroit married a girl from here, and just opened up a boutique hotel. Another guy has a business down here. Another guy has a business out. So three of them are in the capital. One is in the second largest city. So I have to tell you, the Detroit guys that are down here are building, and there's opportunity. And the Kappas opened just started a chapter down here. So you do have some people that are trying to build, but it is
It's a minority. It's a minority. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah, it's a minority. And on your point, whomever is saying that they're ruining it, they're looking at really shutting down the city where all the so-called passport bros go. They're looking to shut it down, reconfigure it, and everything else. So they're already trying to make it harder here for the passport bros to really function, because the country themselves, they're getting a bad reputation off of it.
Yeah, it's a lesson that we can learn. Like sometimes we have to learn how to keep our mouth shut. If we have something good, why share it with our enemies? Just keep
Yeah,
your mouth shut, enjoy your life, respect the culture, and be a good ambassador.
and I think that's what
Oh
you were
yeah. And
getting
also,
at
I
with
also wanted
respect
to.
to. Go ahead,
I also
Amar.
want to make this point too. Now, yes, Brother Beige, if you okay with me making this statement, you know, um, I mean, I know, again, us as men, again, like, yeah, we've been talking for about, at least 2 hours now, and uh, this right here is definitely, again, a great start. Not only, again, kind of, have a good rapport, you know, exchange thoughts and ideas, and also defending ourselves, and also hell, and I think hell, even the women in the space can also get some of the exact same, type of defending, too, because there's also been people in this also so-called space that's been attacking them left and right,
I
video
think
after video,
Well,
video after video.
with the MLS women, they have to get off of feminism and they actually have to try to speak to light skinned men instead of looking down on us and viewing us as villains. So it takes self responsibility on both parties because you have, where light skinned one, they act the same way as us, but they're the female versions of us. They want adulation as well, and they just feels guilty. And we have to open up and have a social contract constructed so we can get on the same page.
I mean,
But
they gonna pick their path, man. You can't control these women. I mean,
Or just replace them. But other than that, I would just say try to at least get along with a light skinned woman and, you know, share our experiences and rebuild the relationship. That's the best answer that I can, suggest.
well, I would say one thing I would say about that is you've got a lot of stuff that you're going to have to really sit down and talk to light skinned women about, because I think the thing is light skinned women get a lot of flack, but I think that what a lot of people don't really take into consideration is how much light skinned women spend time with people that don't really look like them. And I can speak personally from it has a very damaging effect on them, just from the ones that I've dealt with in my inner circle and in my life as far as like jobs, family.
Well, save the ones that want to be saved. If you don't want to be saved, look, we're in one direction. And if you don't want to hop on the train, then, I'm sorry. Good luck.
I, I mean, from what I've seen throughout my life, I mean, honestly, man, like you got the ones who I would say they're brainwashed, they're conditioned and trained to think a certain way, and then you have the other ones, they're just on some, wherever the wind takes them, that's where they go. And then there's some of them, they are just indifferent to us
And
as a
that's their problem. If they want to act in that type of manner, then let them be swallowed up and suffer the consequences. Because at the end of the day, we're being targeted as a group, and light skinned men, we're being pushed out, and we don't have time to sympathize with people that don't want to be part of us. Because what I'm thinking is we're going to be economically disenfranchised soon. We're going to be knocked off the table, and we're going to become irrelevant. So if you don't want to be part of our direction, good luck. I feel different to you, but we have work to get done.
Fair enough.
I think what Duke said about advertising ourselves is important. And the advertising ourselves is, to me, an informal way of doing things. The advertising itself is particularly with respect to us making our voices heard when an actor isn't appropriately portraying one of an MLS person. It is shouting that we have Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. It is shouting that Steph Curry is a quiet assassin. It's a advertising that Chenault was head of American Express. It's advertising that you got all of these people that are out there that have done these things, and we just can't let that slip by the wayside. Will we become replaced? Will we become non-players? you know, they would like us to be like that, but unless we get out there and we do like Duke said and get out there and stand up for ourselves, advertise, and this lot, and my man T, what
From
was your
Tour
name?
LA.
Yeah, I mean, you make those connections. We
But
can
you
get
know what? I
by stuff,
my
but
bad.
it beforehand, you know, the informal things are going to be that glue that begins to cement it so that we can get to the formal.
I say if we want to advertise ourselves, let's just invest in buying billboards and get our message out that way. You know, that's perfect because billboards, you only look at billboards for 1 second, but it has a subconscious message. So invest in billboards so we can advertise ourselves and we get our message out faster than just doing it grassroots. And
Okay,
then
so when you say a billboard, immediately what comes to my mind is having a picture of somebody like Steph Curry
yes,
and the silent assassin. So I don't under.
yes.
What are you saying with respect to a billboard? The silent assassin.
Well, you said advertise our image. We need to
Yeah, yeah,
advertise our image somewhere. And billboards, they're in the city, they're in the center of businesses. They're outside, and people get to see billboards. Even if you
right.
see them for a second, you constantly get to see that image, and we can spread our message out that way because you're
And
constantly
you
seeing
know, there's
images of
there's
us.
this thing about the light skinned guys, especially the Golden State Warriors, but the light skinned guys around this the sports figures, and all we have to do really is say, yeah, I mean, because we're smart and we're athletic. I used to tell my nephews and all my friends, I'll take a guy that is smart and athletic over a guy that has raw athletic ability any day, unless he is just a superstar.
But look at
Because
Grant Hill. Grant
Grant,
Hill's a good example.
exactly. I mean,
Yeah, Grant
because
Hill. I love me some Grant Hill, man.
those
10
He just
guys
got
can,
monthly
injured.
highlights.
yeah,
It,
those guys can just see you coming. I mean, you can see a move through 2 or 3 steps before they make it because your mind works that way.
Even Kareem.
Right.
Kareem, he has an argument of being the greatest basketball player ever next to Jordan, but he's left out the conversation for reasons I don't know.
LeBron, pretty much. LeBron.
Yeah.
I think that's
And
a
also, and I
generation
was
thing.
also gonna, and I can also throw here. I'll throw Reggie Miller in there.
Yep, Reggie
Not
Miller.
really. No,
Reggie
he,
But
Miller.
he's very good, but he's not he's all time great, but he's on that borderline of very good to all time great. So Reggie Miller, he's not really a good example of all time great because you have to argue that.
well, I wouldn't say all time great, in regards to like again the MLS, as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like the way he had some game though. He had intelligence, and we have to use that to our strength. We're more intelligent athletes
Charles
instead of
Barkley.
being brute athletes. We're intelligent, and we know how to play a team-oriented game. And we have to be winners. We have to be known for winning. You look at these MLS quarterbacks; they're known to be winners.
Hmm.
Would you guys accept even Charles Barkley?
Yes, I would. Like he was a winner. Like he's just too out there. But you know what? He's MLS still technically. So I like Charles Barkley. He's my guy, and he speaks the truth. And I like the way they played. I wish he'd promote more of MLS, but he leans more towards a black identity. I don't know where he leans towards.
I like Charles Barkley. He's always been a solid representation. I always liked him. I didn't feel like he was out there. I felt like players like MJ, Gary Payton, they were out there, man.
No, Barkley
They
was
were-
crazy back in the days. Now he wore a dress. He had he had a lot of controversial advertisements. I respect the man for what he did in the NBA, but we have to start promoting our own athletes that are playing today. These past athletes, they don't really have identity, and they're probably stuck in their ways. Like, let's focus on the newer athletes coming out and promote them, and let that speak for ourselves.
We also,
Most definitely.
I know I mentioned the website earlier and collaborating with you guys and seeing what we can do, what can we put on, what can we not. We also would need to promote a social media page, Instagram or Facebook or something like that.
Yeah, you know,
Oh
I
yeah,
almost
most
think
definitely.
I agree, and I don't know, you know, I'm not really up on how you do all these configurations or like a photo collage or something like that of athletic figures right now, because just imagine a collage of Steph Curry with Patrick Mahomes, along with some of the others that are current right now on a Facebook or an Instagram, and you've got a picture of five dudes, and it's and the byline is silent assassins, right? Nothing else, but they're all MLS guys,
But
right?
also with the MLS athletes, we have to make sure that they're clean cut. I don't like the MLS athletes that have these wild hairstyles. I believe that's a poor representation of us. So we have to be careful what athletes we
No,
present
no,
to our
no doubt, but
audience.
no doubt. But what I'm saying is that imagine if that was just
Oh
one of
yeah,
the things that just caught
You mean
fire,
somebody
right?
like LaMelo Ball?
yeah. Lamelo Ball, like he's not a good representation. He's not clean cut, goofy hairstyle. We need masculine MLS athletes like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, that were no nonsense. Lamelo Ball can play, but he's just full of nonsense,
I
and
mean,
he's just a poor representation until he matures and turns it around. I
yeah, I
believe he's
don't.
going to eventually mature, but for right now, I'm not too high on him to represent us.
Yeah, I
But you know, the
never.
thing of it is just get an image like that out there, and then what I suspect would happen is you're going to get a whole lot of hate coming your way saying, "Who put this crap up here? All these guys are light skinned," and that's
Who
when
cares?
wait,
Oh,
wait, wait,
that's
wait, wait. This is what I'm getting at.
my bad.
At that point, it takes a group of us like that. We know it's coming, and we just bombard the site with our aggressiveness, supporting these guys with whatever they are trying to come at us with.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely. We
Well,
got to
I wouldn't even go
secure.
that route. It's more powerful just feeling indifferent. It's like, look, we're doing our own thing, and you're not going to stop us. And I don't care how you feel about it; it's going to happen anyways. I think that's more powerful than constantly pushing back and being defensive. Just keep on doing it and feel
No,
indifferent.
no, it's not defensive. It's just supporting our offensive message. We
Okay, fair enough.
initially put it out, so we made the offense right. We pushed it out there. Now
Fair
we're
enough.
going to get the pushback. They're defending it, and now we get to say, "Yeah, ha ha ha." But these guys are the assassins. Now, what are you going to do, right? I mean, you could say, look, Kevin, what's his name, left the Warriors and never really stepped up to get the mantle again because he left the silence. I
Oh,
mean, you're gonna get that kind of pushback, you
you had
know.
Steph
Oh,
Curry beating LeBron twice. Not me 3 times. My bad.
And Kevin Durant. Kevin
yeah.
Durant left because he wanted his shine. Kevin Durant never got his shine, and now Kyrie Irving is in Dallas, and Kevin Durant's never going to get his shine, right?
I
So
I see what
we,
you see. I
But
see
but
what you're doing with this.
you know,
but
we already put the offensive message out. We initiated it. Now all we're
Oh,
doing is going back at these guys, and it's a lot of trash talk, back and forth, back, especially in the sports world.
and
So
also
that's what I'm saying.
and
Oh, we also have Aaron Donald as well, like the meanest
oh
defensive
yeah, yeah.
tackle.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know I was mentioning the website and the Instagram page earlier, and I remember you brought up something about the heat we will be receiving. Look, man, sometimes all you gotta do is screenshot and hold receipts and just block.
Hey, listen,
I'm just
I'm
saying, just
saying
block.
let's enjoy the heat. Let's enjoy the heat and
And
let's
then
give
if it
it
gets
back.
too crazy, then you just report it to the cops.
Hey, look
And
here,
then
man. You know what? I've never shied away from the heat. You know, I mean, we get on there and we give it back to them as much as they're going to give it to us. And then, you lose all that. The guys are soft, et cetera, because you're just giving it right back to them. We made the offensive move. We pushed the ball down the field to the red zone, and we're scoring. What
yeah,
do you have? What can you say? I mean, we're in the red zone. We just scored. right? We got the championships. What do you have? What does Kevin Durant have? You know, it's that kind of trash talking, that giving back, that back and forth that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about just being hostile. I'm just talking about just the trash talking that usually happens on the field, on the court.
Yeah, but the thing
It,
is
it'll
like,
be a
you know,
surprise.
sometimes
Yeah.
that can get a little crazy. With when we have pages up, and we might have stalkers, people who are gonna do everything in their power to tear us down, and sometimes the trash talking that can like make it escalate, and they're gonna try to use that as leverage, and that's why
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
mentioned the part
Definitely
about,
learned that the
sometimes
hard
you
way.
just gotta block them. Not
Right.
Hey, but
everybody.
Don't
But
argue.
let me also say this too, though, because every now and then I'll be on the computer and I'll do my own little research on all that, whether if it's on Instagram, Facebook, and hell, even sometimes Pinterest. And whenever, if you were to type, okay, let's type light skinned man, right? You will literally will see maybe 4 or 5, 6 pictures of dudes that don't necessarily fit that category. They're something else.
You're one
Yeah,
of
we have
And
to show everyday light skinned men. That's
yeah,
that's the strategy. You know, show light skinned men working. Show light skinned men. You know, even cashiers at McDonald's, like any job you can think of, just show light skinned men and make that a subconscious message that we're here and we've arrived
And
So
and
which
stop
we're
letting
so
going
which so which
in a
one of you
direction.
so which one of you can build a photograph? Because don't ask me, I am not that guy. But which one of you can build a picture or story based around that and just put it on Instagram, let everybody know, and then we just flood to whatever that Instagram page is or whatever that Facebook page is, and we hold our own, but we get
I'll
it out
probably
there.
just say
That's as simple as it is.
I'll probably suggest Brown and Beige. Like you have 650 subscribers, and why don't we piggyback off you because you're the king of this platform, and we can just do the funding and other work. I'm not throwing anything onto you, but I'll probably say that that's the most practical suggestion for now.
Well, I mean, with a little bit of tweaking, I probably could really easily do that if I. It's probably just a little couple of editing skills that I probably would have to learn.
Well,
But
don't worry. You don't need to be perfect. The only thing about we need to constantly work and get better because what happens is when we don't do something perfect, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna give up." But if you constantly work at these editing skills and we have your back, nobody can say anything. It's about having each other's back and growing our skill sets. We're not going to be perfect from the start. We only have about 100 committed men right now. We can build up, make progress, and keep on planning out and executing because at one time we're going to have execute. Like we can only make so many plans before we have to do something because you can plan for years and years, but we have to execute and we have to put money behind our causes and put the money where our mouths are at.
I definitely agree with that.
I'll drop 100. What's your cash app? I'll drop $100 right now. Like, give me your cash app. I'll drop $100 down right now to tell you that I'm serious. I'll do
Well,
that right now.
well, I have to set it. I don't really got a cash app set up for this channel yet, but don't worry, I'll have it
Hey,
created.
Brown and Beige, let me ask you this, or anybody else on the panel, or even in the chat. Uh,
Yes.
how difficult is it to put up a picture of Patrick Mahomes, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and anybody else that you feel good? Let's just limit it to like 5 people, and talk about silent assassins. They'll get the message.
Oh,
How how
that's a great idea. Yes.
how,
well, yeah,
how
yeah,
tough is it?
and I wouldn't even say it's not difficult at all.
No, it's not
Okay.
difficult.
So that if that's not difficult, put it up there now because we're going into the Super Bowl. What better time to do that? And if Patrick Mahomes wins it, look, you know what? We're just gonna ride this thing even further. But if it's easy to do, then put up a picture of 5 guys and say, silent assassins or whatever you want to say. You don't have to say silent assassins or whatever.
I think we have an
byline
artist.
you want to say.
I think we have an
Well,
artist right now.
Oh, what's going on, LSP?
Oh, it's LSP.
Yeah.
Girl, where you been at?
I could also do another one. How about MLS Excellence?
What's up? Who you
Right,
gonna
I was
say?
right.
also
AMR?
do MLS Excellence.
AMR, that's completely right. I mean that's we have 5 guys that are of the excellence factor. We got 5 guys of the athletic factor. We got 5
The acting
guys that
factor?
are
Yeah,
the
you can.
acting factor, and
Yeah,
we
you can.
just push our agenda.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
put Michael Ealy,
Right.
Oh yeah.
Jussie Smollett,
Right. No,
No,
no, no,
not
no.
just hell no, not
I
Smollett.
wouldn't say Justice.
Bubba, but you talking about Bubba Wallace?
Yeah, Bubba Wallace is not.
We're not putting Smollett. Hell no. Chris
No,
Brown.
Chris
Chris-
Brown. Yeah, I like Chris
Yeah,
Brown.
Chris Brown could go up in there.
Hey, look, Jeffrey Wright, who was James Bond American counterpart.
Hell, Joe Lewis.
Joe Lewis, the
What-
Brown
he-
Bomber.
wasn't
Hey, look, he
in
was
the
called the
Hunger
Brown
Games,
Bomber.
too?
He may have been. He
The
may
light
have
skinned
been.
dude, he was in the Hunger Games.
Even Andre Ward. Andre
Lenny
Ward.
Kravitz?
Keith
Oh, yeah.
Urban.
Terrence Howard.
Yep.
So I mean, you got some figures that you just put a collage together of these five guys. I like 5. I don't know why, but you guys figure it out. I'm not an artist. I don't know how to put these collages together. I don't know anything about. I'm having a difficult time getting on this YouTube channel. So
Well, I have a question. So I know LSP, the freckle face artist. So what art do you do? Because I'm willing to pay, $50 for a collage. We need to get work done. And
I don't know. I mean, isn't it just a matter of getting pictures together and using some type of online free piece of online artwork that you can just put these faces together on the same photo?
Hell,
So
you
what-
know what? Hell, you just gave me an idea. I might do a video. I may make a YouTube video putting up 5 people.
Right.
Saying, hey, look, this is, my top 5.
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
You can also do the music industry, like you said,
Yeah.
Chris Brown, Swiss Beats.
Go all the way back to Smokey.
Or Common, the singer.
Heavy D.
Yeah.
Common,
And
the
and,
singer.
and what you guys don't know, and I know because Detroit's my hometown, is that Barry Gordy, his
Yep.
father, we went to the same church, and his father was white passing. They owned a grocery store before Barry Gordy made it big with his company. And Barry Gordy made all of his artists come to church together on Easter.
So I have a
So-
question. My bad. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
So we're talking about artwork. So what page are we going to post this on? Because we need centralized pages. So we need a centralized Instagram page and a Facebook page.
Yeah, I mean,
We
you
need
can do
centralized
that, and
pages.
then
So
everybody
let's
just
decide that right
shares it.
now.
And then you just share it, right?
We can
So-
start with the Instagram page. That would be simple to follow, and then
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
gradually
So
build the other
we
ones.
need an Instagram page by the end of this chat because we can get this done before the Super Bowl. So that's our first project. If we can get this done before the Super Bowl, I think that'll be a successful initial project for us to complete. But we need a centralized Instagram page by the end of this session, or at least put it in like a community section, because YouTube has a community section. So put out the Instagram page. We're going to follow you, and then we can contribute money and do all our activities on the Instagram page until we branch
You
out.
can do that, but then also you just take down whatever is posted. Let's say MLS puts it on whatever, not MLS, Bayesian Brown puts it on his page, and then we just share everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's good.
Right.
But
just
we need a
share.
centralized page. We need a centralized page because what happens is we have too many movements. Like we have 20 different pages and nobody's on the same page.
Right,
I'm
right,
not
right.
trying to use wordplay.
You're
My
right.
bad.
You're
But,
right about that. You're right
well,
about that.
I'm not
You're
using
right about
wordplay, but you have 20 different pages. No one's on the same page. Like, we need one page in one direction, because what's going to happen? You're going to have a tug of war of power, and then we're going to revert to the same conversation. So let's make a page after this chat, put it in the community, and then we can make portraits. We can upload pictures, and then let's have a due date. So let's say by Friday, we're going to have to pull our weight, and we're going to have homework. We have to do the homework in order for our group to achieve something. We can't just expect things to happen by itself. That's insanity, and that's our problem. Like, we need to actually do the groundwork and the homework, and we
Okay,
need
so
we need to
okay,
put money up.
okay. Listen here. I like you. You know what? Are you a corporate man, a military man? What's your background?
Well, for me, I was a military man, so I separated from
Okay,
the army.
okay. Yeah,
I separated.
I'm just saying. I hear your directives coming. I hear your directives coming. So that's why I asked. So it's a good thing. It's a good
I
thing.
was a sergeant, so yes.
Okay, but here's what people need to have. Who do we have that has the capability of putting these things together? Speak up now, because I'm telling you, I don't.
Probably I could do it. I can.
Okay, so what are you going to do? Are you going to make the page, or do the art, or both? What is it?
Well, I could always create an Instagram page. I most
Okay.
definitely. I know
Okay.
how Instagram works, so I even really could start doing like shorts on this channel
Hmm.
because I kind of want to shorten up the format of my videos. So I even could do like shorts
Right.
on this channel and start posting them, and they could be in the YouTube short page. And that
Okay.
that
Well,
gets
what about? I'm old school, and I guess I understand that Facebook now is for my age group, and you youngsters have moved on to Instagram. What about, like I said, a photo collab of maybe 5 guys of like what AMR said, some of the leaders in business, some of the leaders in sports, some of the leaders in military, etc., actors. And we only have to really start with the first one, the athletics. In my mind, let's just get, because Patrick Mahomes is present of mind right now.
Yeah,
How
no, most
difficult is it to put a collage picture?
That's easier.
Five
Yeah,
guys?
that is easier.
Okay, so let's make that our first project, if that's easy. So if that's easy, then who's stepping up to do it?
No, I'll step up to do it. If you get this Instagram page, and I'm in school, I'm busy, but I want to do it, and like I said, somebody's going to have to take charge, because we can't play hot potato. So I'll take the
Okay.
initiative, and I'll take
So
accountability.
military man, forgive me for calling you military man, but military man, you're going to do that, and then Beige Brown community, you're going to have the page done, right?
Well, not the page. The brown beige community, he can do the page. I can do the collage, because the collage I can use photo editing software, and then
Okay,
the
that's
thing
what
about
I'm
collage,
talking
you're just
about.
putting
That's
pictures together.
that's
But I
exactly
can make.
what I'm saying. That's
Okay,
exactly
fair
what
enough.
I'm saying.
Yes.
So
So
you do the collage, brown and beige, you post it on Instagram, let us know. We go on the page, we take it, we share it on whatever platforms we have it on. That'll be our first project. Clean, simple, easy.
And it's due by Friday, because the Super Bowl game is on Sunday. So Friday is a good due date, because I have school tomorrow. I have school today. I work night shift, so I have school tomorrow in the morning. But it's going to get done. It has to get done, and we need
Okay.
something to say that we're here.
Brown and beige, am I pushing you too much?
Oh no, it wouldn't take me long to do it.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
Okay. So let's get that done, because I'm going to have fun with it. Let me tell you something. My nephew has a picture. My nephew has a picture with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes came up to him when he was at All-Star Weekend, basketball All-Star Weekend, and said, "My mother never told me I had another brother." Right? I mean, they look alike. I mean, they're doppelgangers. of each other. And so my nephew is actually working on the halftime show and will be at the Super Bowl. And that's one reason I got this in my mind right now. All right. So
Wow.
military man, you're gonna do the photos, and Brown and Beige, you're gonna do what you have to do, and bam, you're gonna let us know when it's out, it's done, and then we're all gonna share it, and we're all gonna hold our chests out after it's done.
Nice.
That's what I like to hear.
And
Brandon.
also for reference, let's stop talking about our plans on YouTube because you know
I got you. We'll talk about it behind the scenes.
This is an exception because we're starting something new, but from now on, like let's just do this in secret because we don't need to be spilling too much, juice.
Listen,
and people
I feel you.
taste
I feel you
back
all the way. I feel you all the way. Yeah,
Today's an exception. We can do this for today, but going forward, I don't think that this is the best thing to do. We can discuss issues, but not plans.
Do you have a Discord, Justin Sharp?
Oh, what's up?
Do you have Discord?
I have a Reddit, but what's the difference between Discord and Reddit?
Well, Discord is kind of, you can interact more behind the scenes. A lot of people wouldn't really know about it.
Well, I'll make a Discord, but I would just have to let's make the Instagram first, and then let's follow the Instagram, and then message Brown and Beige our information, such as our phone numbers, emails, LinkedIn, all our social media pages. Let's share the links to Brown and Beige so we know who we are.
Hey, you guys are a bunch of dynamic brothers. You guys are all right.
Hey, well, we tried.
Yeah, first let's communicate over email, and then because you can't just put your information out there on.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Well, DM. I said DM, direct message.
There is no DMs on YouTube, so email first.
Right.
Yeah, we got a lot of crazy people after us.
I mean DM through Instagram. Like if you don't want to email your information, at least DM through Instagram because it's still private. But if you want to go a secure route, then you can email your information.
Hey, AMR, you and I are on the same Discord. We can do it through there. And I will rely on you to then rely on getting information to Brown and Beige, since you and Brown and Beige seem to be there. And then we can start figuring out how we're going to do this as we go forward. But Justin, I like what you're saying.
Is that the Discord right there on the bottom of the screen, or is that something like somebody else's?
That's the Futures Golden Discord.
That's Futures, and so if we want to go on Futures, I'm game with going through Future right now. How many people are on Futures?
I am.
I am too. So
I'll take a photo of it.
That's three of us at least that are on Future, so we can use Future to do something like that right now, and then Future can do the same thing with some of the women. And we can go from there. So I hope I haven't been too pushy, but I like the idea that Justin came up with, and I like you guys, the conversation and where this led to tonight.
Oh, definitely, man.
Yeah, we'll
This is what it's all
follow up
about.
again. Maybe I don't know when the next live stream is going to be.
I'll probably ask Brown and Beige, put out the Instagram and the Discord chat in the community section, because I may not look at these comments and I may lose track. But if you put it in the community section, then
I think the most important thing right now is for Justin and Brown and Beige to collaborate, because they're the ones that are doing the work. So Brown and Beige, are you still here, or are you cooking something up?
No, I'm here.
Okay. Is there a way for the two of you to communicate?
Well, I'll tell you my Instagram right now. Well, I'm on my Instagram right now, so my Instagram is very simple. So it's Justin with 2 N's _sharp. That's my Instagram.
Oh.
Justin with 2 N's _sharp.
I think once I'm done with this video, I'll probably create like a YouTube, Instagram for this channel.
Okay. But you two communicate, all right?
Fair enough. So that's my Instagram. We'll communicate further on. And I'm at work right now, but I have maintenance. I work night shift, so it's very slow. But just put that in the community section. But I already gave you my Instagram, and they say if you follow me, I'll follow back, and then we can get the ball rolling, and we can get on the same page, and see what direction we need to take and plans that we have to execute.
We
That's
get
the
that
most important
together.
thing.
I will share it on what I share it on, and I'll definitely shoot it to my nephew, and then he'll get it out. He's in the social media atmosphere with his own business as well, and I'm quite sure he'd love to shoot that out to all his people as well. And that's just what we have to do, just get it out there. So I really appreciate you young guys.
Yeah, man. It was a nice. I'll join the Discord. I'm gonna have to go take care of a few things, so I'll be able to join the Discord tomorrow morning, probably. So yeah, it was a nice conversation. I gotta bounce. I gotta drop off for the night. So yeah,
I appreciate you, Tor.
All right,
I'm
guys,
probably appreciate it, man.
I'm gone too. So thank you very much for allowing me to come up. You guys are all
I
right.
appreciate it. Yeah,
Tor LA
I'm
is
probably gonna
out,
shut
man.
the stream down.
Okay.
But yeah, it was definitely a good conversation. I definitely like where it went tonight.
Yeah, I did too. I did too. And I think I may end up, doing that video. Starting off with the MLS excellence in regarding in the sports world.
Yeah, it wouldn't take too long for it. I already pretty much, even with the thumbnail, I already got pretty much the photos already saved into my laptop.
Right.
All I could do is just send it to him and maybe add like some motion graphics or something to it. So
Right.
yeah, I can easily do that.
Yeah, this is this right here was an interesting conversation, and I think we also hit nails on the head and got our chance to pretty much, run a little roughshine and throw it back in other people's faces.
That's what it was all about, man.
Right.
But I think I'm gonna call it a night.
No,
And I appreciate you for joining AMR.
no problem. You know what though, and then again, I know I haven't been, live streaming that much either, because again, I'm working now, and
I understand.
yeah, shoot, these 10-hour shifts can be a who.
Just take it all out of you.
Yeah, and plus knowing that I gotta get up in the morning too, not just be thinking it's like, okay, what's the next idea that I have? I won't necessarily share too much of them, let alone while we're planning.
But I appreciate everyone for joining. Duke, LSP, Future is Golden, Justin Sharp. This was definitely a productive conversation. I definitely brought up all my points. And like I said, we're about to celebrate this week. It's historical week for MLS men. It goes to show no matter what people say about us, in the end, we always produce, regardless of what how many cards are stacked against us.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'll throw another one out there. A UFC fighter by the name of Cyril Gain. He's French, but he's also MLS. He's going to be fighting John Jones.
Oh yeah, I remember.
For the UFC title. So it's like, hey, let's show let's show him some support.
Definitely, man.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
but yeah,
it's good night, everyone, and thanks for joining. And I'll see what I can cook up for y'all.
All right, then, man.
All right, good seeing you, man.
Good seeing you too. Good seeing everybody in the chat.